Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on which time you're listening to this. Um, Today it's our very first episode in the Money Machine Hack episodes, and I'm going to begin the very first episode by talking about daily income versus monthly income. Um, I stay in Nigeria and I live in a country where we mostly earn and are paid monthly. We work daily, we put in a lot more hours like our peers all over the world put in employment, or end up earning most of the time monthly instead of hourly or even daily. In some other parts of the world, it's very common to see people being paid for how productive they are per hour. But here in this country, the employees try to squeeze out every single thing that they can within the space of 1 month and then pay you whatever you've agreed in your employment contract at the end of the month. And that may not even be steady because if you, for instance, come late to work, if you break anything at work, if you do anything at work, you can incur deductions at the end of the day from your salary. And at the end of the day, it gives the employer a lot of power and a lot of, room to abuse the privilege of having you work for them. I use the word privilege because ideally everybody is doing everybody a favor in this case, I guess. So it's important that we understand that if you don't begin to think in terms of daily income versus monthly income, you will never realize the fact that you're spending on a daily basis. And it will be very hard for you to keep track of how much you earn per day versus how much you spend per day, because really the journey of building wealth generally begins with understanding your own personal finances, taking responsibility for your own personal finances on a daily basis at least. You're supposed to have a budget, you're supposed to know what is coming in and what is going out, you're supposed to understand how it is supposed to go daily financially. And if you don't make this, most of the time we have already made mental images of our spendings. Sometimes we don't, depending on how organized you are. Some people go as far as writing it down and sticking with it. Some write and don't stick with it, some don't write at all and still manage to keep things together. But it's important that as we all keep track of our spendings, it's also important that we also keep track of how productive we are and how that translates to how much money comes in at the end of the day into our bank accounts on a daily basis. So, part of what we want you to do is to switch from thinking about monthly earning if that is where you are, to going to daily earning. And to do this, you need to have to change the way you think first, because every change that you'll experience in this in your financial life will first of all begin with you changing how you think and how you act. It has to be who you are before it becomes what you experience and what you see. So it's important that you begin to think in that regard. I personally, what began to push me to wanting to have a side income, to wanting to begin to channel a part of my energy and a part of my productivity into something else, a side income, was because I wanted something that can they're giving me money on a daily basis. It's important that we earn daily. And there are a couple of things that you need to put in place if you begin to earn daily. Now, one of them is to realize that you need to become a productive person. And to become a productive person, there are a couple of things you need to understand. One is that you need to develop yourself. Personal development is very important. If you be that person who will be able to provide solutions for a vast number of people, if you become that person who will be able to um, help people in whatever regard you choose, whatever um, field of endeavor that you choose, you need to be that kind of person who can, at least to an extent, be able to proffer solutions. Ideally, you should aim to become very professional, to become very excellent, because mediocrity will definitely not take you very far. So you need to understand that it's important that you put in the effort into becoming a better person. And once you do that, you need to also look at what needs there are in any particular niche that you want to be providing solutions for. So if you want to provide solutions in, let's say, the entertainment niche, you need to understand what the entertainment needs that are out there. Once you're able to understand that, it will give you an idea of how to come up with reasonable and very relevant solutions for the markets that you want to target. And really, that's really where it starts from. The truth about life is, the more solution you provide for the market, the chances that you will begin to earn will astronomically go up. So, usually, let's assume that you're starting from ground zero. You don't have any money, you don't have any knowledge, you don't have anything at all. The best thing you can do is to use the internet and find out what is needed in the market. Look out for trends, look out for the best people in that same industry. Check out for what they are doing. If they have books you need to read, if they have things that you need to look at, if they have concerts, if they have meetings that you need to go to. That initial phase of leaving your comfort zone and plunging yourself and becoming obsessed with the market and the people and the skills, and developing yourself into fitting into the market you want to be providing solutions for, is extremely important. It's extremely important. Even in the most, you know, developed part of that business, you still need to keep training and retraining yourself and your staff and your organization. It's very important. The most productive companies are the ones that constantly keep developing themselves and their staffs. So you need to understand that this is where it starts and this does not stop. If you keep being relevant, if you keep being that same person who will continue to churn out solutions and continue to be paid for it, then you need to continually keep getting trained and evolving into becoming the excellent person that is there to give the market what it requires. So this is very important that you understand. You need to know that what matters first is the quality of solution that you're bringing out, because that will ultimately become the benchmark to which people would use to quantify how much value they will return back to you. So the quality of value they also return back to you will be determined by the quality of value you're giving to them. And then the quantity talks about the amount of people that you're giving this value to. If you give it to a vast number of people, you would most likely increase your chances of getting back value from a lot of people. One of the best successful companies in the world right now is Google, Alphabet. They use a marketing model that's very interesting and has been very successful. They dominate the market first with a free solution. Let's say Google is completely free, and then they monetize later. They came in first with email. We love the email they brought out. It was completely free. You sign up, get your email, and then it wasn't just an email. With that, you could register, your Android um, operating software. So to use any phone that runs on Android, you would have to have a Gmail account. So it wasn't just about receiving emails, it was also about having an account with them. And then from there, with a Gmail, you already have a YouTube channel. With a Gmail, you already have the Gmail gave us access to a lot of things, a lot of awesome features. So it was completely relevant, completely important that you had a Gmail, irrespective of what solutions that you want to be provided for you. So you see that over the years, the Gmail had evolved and kept evolving to becoming a better solution for people out there. And because of the amount of people who have come to discover Gmail and use it, Alphabet have been able to get a lot of value back from people through advertising. So you're using their application, you're using the website, the web, because the Gmail is attached to almost every single thing you do. They're able to gather data that they have now been able to monetize with. So it's very, very important that you begin to look at putting out a lot of value out there. Another illustration that I would want you to have in this episode about being very productive, you need to picture the amount of spermatozoa that is released when a man wants to get a woman pregnant. He pours a lot of sperms, millions of sperms, into the woman's system, and at the end of the day, the man expects just one child. So you see, there are instances where you need to put a lot of value to be able to get, just a little value come back to you. And that should be your mindset. So that when you see and understand how productivity works, you realize that you need to be able to give out a lot of values. Look at our society, for instance. The wealthiest people are those that have given out value to our society in an astronomical level. You talk of people like Tesla, you talk of brands like Tesla owned by Elon Musk, you talk about brands like, Coca-Cola, they've literally gone into every single community and they've been able to give a lot of value over a long span of time. And time also matters. So you need to understand that it will not happen overnight. First of all, you need to become the kind of person that can be a solution or that has the solution to give in a particular niche. And then secondly, you have to be able to give that solution to a lot of people in a very quality way. You have to package it well and you have to be quality information, quality solution that you're giving out to people. And then you now have to have a way to monetize that solution. You need to understand that serving and helping the people comes first before monetization. Just like Google has done, just like every other thing. There's always that period where you sow, and then there's that period where you reap. That you have sowed into the ground does not mean that it will benefit you. You have to create a harvest system where you can go back and take, after a period of time, from wherever you have planted as a farmer. So it makes a lot of sense if you're waiting for a harvest after you have put in the work in planting first. So once you're able to understand how you can monetize, then you can now look at how much of the productivity that you need to put in, the solution that you need to give out to be able to consistently earn on a daily basis. Now, I've said a lot about earning on a daily basis, and I'd like to stop here because this is not where the conversation is going to end, but it's important that you understand how this works, and I believe that this is a very good way to have introduced the whole money machine hacking. We're still going to be talking about how you can leverage technology and so many other things, but it's important that you have this mindset of productivity first, because when you don't have it, many people get trapped in the circle of jumping the productivity phase. They just want to be the person who makes the money without becoming the person who can make the money. And that is really where personal development comes in. So thank you very much. I hope to see you in the next episode. I still remain your partner, your friend, and your coach, Patrick OTD. Have a nice day.